Be prepared, for what's unfolding before us is among the most extraordinary and transformative moments of this year. However, proceed with caution, as this energy could pull you into unexpected turbulence. Not every friendly face surrounding you is destined to accompany you on your next phase of growth. At this very moment, an extraordinary celestial event is occurring. 6 planets are aligning in perfect formation. Yet, the true significance isn't confined to the celestial sphere. It's manifesting right here, influencing both you and those in your orbit. We've long been conditioned to believe that our inner circle, our family, friends, and partners, will naturally evolve alongside us. While this holds some truth, there's a deeper dynamic at play during this time. The current cosmic energy is triggering profound shifts within your closest relationships. This is precisely why creating space between you and your intimate connections becomes crucial. You'll soon understand the full implications of this necessity. But if you find this unsettling, brace yourself. It's merely the prelude to the cosmic choreography about to unfold. As we speak, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are moving into alignment. When these celestial giants converge, the energetic atmosphere transforms. Pressure intensifies. Their influence doesn't just reshape the heavens, it reshapes the very essence of human connections below. This alignment acts as a cosmic truth serum, revealing what's been hidden. Fragile connections become strained. Suppressed emotions surface unexpectedly. Every relationship in your life faces its ultimate test, and underlying weaknesses become apparent. Some bonds will strengthen, while others will dissolve. The aftermath of these fractures is about to unfold. The planet's influence doesn't require your belief to be effective, just as gravity doesn't need your acknowledgement to keep you grounded. Today's 6-planet alignment isn't merely an astronomical phenomenon. It's a tangible force affecting every living being. You needn't be spiritually inclined, believe in astrological principles, or have any interest in celestial matters. These factors are irrelevant, because this alignment is already in motion, impacting your physical, mental, and relational well-being. The reality is that most individuals will experience an inexplicable shift today. Some will struggle to articulate their feelings. It might manifest as unexplained irritability, an unusual heaviness weighing on their chest, or emotional volatility, triggering disproportionate reactions to minor incidents. They'll attribute it to weather patterns, sleep deprivation, or everyday stressors. But this timing is far from random. Dismissing these effects doesn't grant immunity. Skeptics may verbally reject these influences while their bodies silently acknowledge the truth. For the observant, these manifestations will be clearly visible in the world around them. What's transpiring is far from subtle. The evidence is undeniable. Yet there's a crucial distinction to understand. This alignment's impact varies significantly from person to person. It creates a clear demarcation, with individuals experiencing its effects quite differently, depending on which side of the divide they stand. For those who've embraced their personal growth journey, who've confronted their emotional scars and dissolved their self-deceptions, this energy brings heightened clarity. It's like a veil being lifted, revealing crystal clear direction, as precise as a magnetic needle finding true north. These individuals will experience a surge of vitality and empowerment, discovering paths that were previously obscured. However, for those who've avoided confronting their inner darkness, who've buried their rage, envy, or self-doubt without addressing it, today brings tumultuous upheaval. It's akin to igniting a flame in an airtight container. The potential for explosion is imminent. The planetary forces are deliberately probing these buried wounds, forcing them to surface regardless of resistance. Here lies the critical concern. When such pressure accumulates, it demands release. This is where you become vulnerable. The brighter your inner light shines, the more likely you are to attract attention from those carrying unhealed wounds. Your mere presence becomes threatening to them, serving as a mirror reflecting all they've refused to acknowledge. Their instinctive response for relief is to project outward, making you their target. Recognize this fundamental truth. Not every hostile action stems from personal animosity. Often, it's simply unprocessed pain seeking the nearest outlet. That's why maintaining distance today isn't an act of abandonment, it's self-preservation. It's not about weakness, but rather spiritual self-protection. During this intense celestial pressure, you're not obligated to shoulder the burden of others' unresolved trauma. Your responsibility is to protect yourself from becoming their emotional dumping ground. Jupiter's influence extends beyond mere revelation. It amplifies truth until it becomes impossible to ignore. Currently, Jupiter stands within this alignment like a powerful spotlight illuminating your life stage. Nothing can remain concealed in the shadows. This process is intense, with Jupiter's energy being forceful, uncompromising, and straightforward. It magnifies whatever's hidden until it becomes overwhelmingly apparent. Whether it's your achievements or another's concealed resentment, you'll notice it in even the smallest interactions. Perhaps you share success stories only to be met with uncomfortable silence. Maybe someone deflects attention when you discuss your personal development, uncomfortable with your spotlight moment. Or perhaps it's more subtle. A previously attentive friend suddenly becomes distant, or their attitude shifts when you share positive developments. This is Jupiter's influence at work, exposing long-present but previously ignorable truths. The reality becomes clear. Not everyone celebrates your success. Some applaud outwardly while harboring inner resentment. And Jupiter ensures these contradictions can no longer remain hidden. As your sphere of influence expands, the spotlight intensifies, making those who secretly harbor resentment towards your evolution increasingly uneasy. Their carefully maintained facades begin to crack involuntarily, their reactions betraying their true nature. Stay vigilant. The way people respond to your radiance reveals the darkness they haven't yet confronted. However, don't interpret this as a form of punishment. Jupiter's role isn't to inflict pain, but to illuminate truth. It's drawing clear lines between genuine support and superficial approval, authentic allies and subtle undermining forces. It's providing such crystalline clarity that surface appearances can no longer deceive you. And this revelation, once perceived, becomes permanent. Venus speaks only truth. Your emotional core recognizes reality, even when your rational mind attempts to reject it. During this alignment, Venus sheds its gentle, romantic nature. It becomes penetrating, dismantling illusions in humanity's most vulnerable realm: love, connection, and loyalty. For those chosen, this energy manifests as emotional clarity. You suddenly perceive, with startling accuracy, who cherishes your authentic self versus who remained present merely for personal gain. Your emotional state may fluctuate dramatically, from tears to detachment in moments. This isn't emotional instability, but rather recalibration. Your heart is actively filtering energetic frequencies, determining who deserves proximity and who requires release. True to Venus's nature, this process combines gentleness with ruthlessness. For those living behind facades, this period brings exposure. Their superficial support and conditional affection unravels completely. Some become increasingly dependent, desperately clinging to your former self. Others turn to manipulation, attempting to shame, guilt, or force you back into outgrown emotional patterns. The telltale sign is unmistakable. Those who once energized you now leave you depleted. This transformation is Venus revealing truth. Authentic love energizes, false connection depletes. This explains Venus's role as heart activator. It prioritizes liberation over comfort. Today, ignoring your heart's wisdom carries unprecedented consequences. Your heightened sensitivity isn't weakness, it's awakening from emotional numbness. That's the crucial distinction. Currently, with 6 planets aligned in unified force, your entire being, from nervous system to emotional field to inner guidance, is activated beyond suppression. This might feel like oversensitivity, but it's actually enhanced awareness. Consider this: the warning signs you previously dismissed, the red flags you rationalized, the energy drains you accepted as normal. They no longer escape your notice. You detect them instantly. When someone's tone shifts subtly, your body registers the change before your conscious mind processes it. You enter a space and immediately sense its energy, rather than simply becoming part of it. Heavy atmospheres weigh physically on your chest, while discordant energies trigger instant gut reactions. This heightened awareness isn't due to a deteriorating world or increasingly negative people. It's a reflection of your own transformation. Your vibrational frequency has shifted, elevating beyond its previous state. Consequently, the familiar patterns, those repetitive behaviors, recycled words, and worn-out justifications, can no longer slip by unnoticed. As your consciousness expands, these old dynamics begin to appear toxic. This explains your growing need for space, not from a place of coldness or rejection, but because your entire being is undergoing an energetic purification. Solitude becomes your healing balm. Silence your pathway to insight. You're not escaping. You're realigning. Meanwhile, those around you remain unchanged in their frequency. From their perspective, everything continues as before. They maintain their usual speech patterns, behaviors, and interpersonal dynamics. Yet for you, it's become overwhelming. What previously seemed innocuous now feels constricting. Former expressions of love now register as attempts at control. This is the core challenge of your alignment, recognizing that you're the transformed variable, while others remain constant. Your internal rewiring has awakened you in a room full of sleepers, where their dream state chaos feels more jarring than ever. This explains your preference for solitude over stimulation. It's not about isolation, but clarity. Not rejection, but self-preservation. You're not being distant. You're cleansing yourself of frequencies that no longer match your evolved state. As you honor this transformation, you'll understand that distance isn't loss, but protection. Because with heightened awareness, proximity to misaligned energies becomes more than uncomfortable, it becomes hazardous. Saturn's role isn't punitive, it's revelatory, distinguishing the authentic from the performative. In this six-planet alignment, Saturn transcends its role as mere celestial participant to become the cosmic orchestrator. While Saturn guards the gates, it also enforces universal laws. Today, it demands uncompromising truth rather than negotiation. For those chosen, Saturn's influence manifests not as abstract karmic testing, but as immediate self-confrontation. The postponed deadlines, delayed habit changes, and softened truths, Saturn presents them all simultaneously, leaving no room for evasion. You might feel overwhelmed, as if all your avoided responsibilities suddenly demand attention. Or perhaps your perceived readiness for certain relationships, responsibilities, or commitments faces unexpected questioning, deconstruction, or delay. Remember, this isn't punishment. Saturn isn't a barrier, it's a validator, distinguishing between genuine foundations and superficial facades. For those who've embraced authentic growth, confronted their shadows, cultivated self-discipline, and chosen truth over convenience, Saturn's challenges arrive with hidden blessings. The reward isn't external validation, but an unshakable inner clarity, a resolute direction, and a foundation so impenetrable that neither chaos, deception, nor distraction can erode it. However, for those resisting growth, living in denial, or drifting aimlessly, Saturn's presence feels ruthless. It manifests as blocked opportunities, unexpected losses, and time accelerating beyond grasp. It surfaces as relationship-defining conflicts, seemingly stable careers disintegrating, or health wake-up calls forcing long-avoided changes. These moments of upheaval and separation aren't punishments but necessary demolitions. When your life structure rests on falsehoods, Saturn will dismantle it before it becomes your tomb. This universal truth applies equally. Saturn shows no preference. Whether aligned or adrift, conscious or unconscious, Saturn remains unmoved by your claimed status, carefully crafted personas, or eloquent rhetoric. It measures only authenticity and truth. Wherever self-deception exists in your life, Saturn will illuminate it today. Some will experience this revelation as liberation. chains dissolving, confusion clearing. Others will face collapse as their carefully maintained illusions crumble. Yet Saturn enforces one consistent principle: falsehoods cannot survive this alignment. This makes today both perilous and sacred. Saturn stands as the eternal reminder that deception cannot accompany your evolution. Ascension becomes impossible while carrying illusions. The longer you cling to falsehoods, the more burdensome they become. Today, Saturn ensures you feel their full weight. Your personal evolution will appear as hubris to those stagnating in their growth. This powerful six-planet alignment amplifies truth's resonance, and truth rarely offers comfort. Currently, your evolved presence, authentic expression, and conscious choices will unsettle those who relied on your previous patterns. Those comfortable with your former self will feel destabilized, not because you're transgressing, but because you've outgrown the role they prescribed for you. The signs emerge subtly at first. Previously eager contacts now label you as distant. Friends accustomed to your constant availability now brand you selfish when you maintain boundaries. Family members might weaponize your transformation, treating change as an indictment rather than achievement. But here's the fundamental truth: personal growth appears as betrayal to those committed to stagnation. When Mercury and Venus align to influence communication and relationships, misunderstandings become profound revelations rather than mere accidents. These moments illuminate who genuinely cherishes your presence versus those who merely valued what they could extract from you. As you embrace this newfound clarity, you'll likely encounter accusations of being arrogant, detached, frigid, or perhaps even heartless. Remember, these labels aren't accurate reflections of your character. They're manifestations of others' unresolved attachments to your former self. Consider this metaphor. When a butterfly emerges from its chrysalis, other caterpillars can't comprehend its transformation. They perceive its wings as peculiar, superfluous, perhaps even menacing. Yet the butterfly owes no justification for its metamorphosis. It simply takes flight. Similarly, you needn't justify your evolution. During this transit, silence becomes your most powerful ally. Not silence born from fear, but silence rooted in inner strength. Withdrawing, maintaining quietude, establishing unwavering boundaries. These aren't indicators of weakness, but demonstrations of personal sovereignty. If others respond with hostility or bewilderment, it's not because you've lost your way. Rather, it's because you've finally discovered your authentic path, and they're struggling to adapt. This alignment serves to distinguish genuine connections from mere conveniences. As you continue evolving, you'll become increasingly inconvenient to those who built their comfort upon your compliance. Let them misinterpret. Let them project. Let them label you however they need to process their discomfort. Remember, your purpose isn't to be understood but to be aligned. And true alignment requires no explanation. It simply exists. Every significant breakthrough generates aftershocks. What follows this alignment isn't weakness but integration. As the six-planet alignment begins to loosen between August 20th and 22nd, don't expect immediate relief. For many, this marks the beginning of the real challenge, while the alignment itself acts as an acute pressure point. Intense, sharp, undeniable, its dissolution leaves body, mind, and soul to reconstruct themselves. This phase represents what I term the energetic hangover. Don't be startled if you awaken during these days feeling disoriented, as though time has become fluid or your motivation has vanished. You might feel vulnerable, hypersensitive, or burdened by unnamed emotions. Some may experience unexplained tears, while others might feel peculiarly detached, as if nothing can penetrate their emotional armor. Many will oscillate between these extremes, experiencing waves of profound grief followed by periods of complete emotional vacancy. This isn't chaos manifesting, it's your system decompressing. Think of it this way: if the alignment represented a storm, these subsequent 3 days embody the profound stillness that follows. The storm has subsided, the electrical charges have dissipated, yet the aftermath lingers. Damp earth, dense atmosphere, and a world seeking to establish its new equilibrium. Your entire being is in a process of realignment. The convergence of 6 celestial bodies has fundamentally altered your nervous system's circuitry. Now, your physical form strives to synchronize with the spiritual quantum leap you've experienced. Here lies an intriguing contradiction. This sensation of heaviness isn't a form of cosmic punishment. It's a cleansing process. The weight pressing upon you isn't the resurgence of old patterns, but rather their final release. You're not regressing. You're shedding residual energy. Consider carrying a heavy stone-filled backpack for years. When finally removed, your body doesn't immediately feel weightless. Instead, it aches as it reacquaints itself with lightness. This is your energetic hangover. The window between August 20th and 22nd marks a period where self-doubt may creep in. Rest assured, nothing is amiss. You're simply navigating the reverberations of this powerful alignment. Each migraine, sleepless night, and surge of irritation represents your energetic field purging frequencies that no longer serve your elevated state. Then comes the transformation. As you emerge from this window, mental clarity dawns. The psychological haze dissipates. You'll observe the newfound lightness in your field and notice how certain triggers, individuals, and thought patterns have lost their former power over you. This celestial alignment didn't merely rearrange the heavenly bodies, it reconstructed your fundamental essence. When this temporary heaviness descends, remember, a hangover only confirms the reality of the celebration. Your current experience validates your breakthrough. Upon emerging from this phase, your energy will possess a clarity, sharpness, and focus unprecedented in recent years. This wasn't merely a cosmic event. It was your personal reset. Not everyone in your orbit harbors inherent toxicity. However, in this moment, nearly everyone experiences a profound hunger. This alignment doesn't just shift celestial bodies. It awakens dormant desires within individuals. When 6 planets converge thus, the atmosphere becomes charged with an undercurrent of desperation. Some harness this current for growth, while others surrender to it. Unable to generate their own light, they seek to consume others. You might notice subtle manifestations today. Perhaps a loved one seeks excessive validation. Maybe a friend continuously redirects conversations to their challenges. A colleague might drain your energy with unnecessary conflict. Though these instances seem minor, under this alignment, such demands aren't coincidental. They're manifestations of a deeper spiritual hunger. Energy parasites aren't always malicious entities. Sometimes they're simply individuals who never learn to embrace their own emptiness. But this alignment transforms their inner void into an insatiable yearning. The cosmic current amplifies your inherent nature. Those who are complete find themselves expanding, while those who are empty become increasingly consumptive. This explains why your closest companions may appear unusually burdened, demanding, or emotionally volatile today. They're unconsciously grasping for an energy they never developed the capacity to generate independently. Here's the concerning aspect. The deeper their connection to you, the more readily they can draw from your essence. While strangers cannot penetrate your inner sanctuary, those closest to you, friends, family, intimate partners, know precisely which emotional levers to pull, which narratives to weave, which psychological anchors to cast. Under this 6-planet alignment, these hooks carry an unprecedented intensity. You might experience guilt when creating distance, feeling perhaps callous or detached. Yet this very guilt serves as sustenance for energy parasites. They flourish in your moments of hesitation, drawing strength from your inability to establish boundaries. That's why maintaining distance isn't merely an option today. It's essential for preservation. Each time you create space, you're not deserting them. You're honoring your own essence. If you've been experiencing unusual fatigue after encounters with certain individuals, or if brief interactions leave you depleted, consider this your validation. It's not imaginary. The alignment is revealing your energetic vulnerabilities, which become particularly acute under today's celestial pressure. The reality is that their hunger cannot be satisfied through you. You could offer endless compassion, limitless patience, yet it would remain insufficient because their craving isn't about you. It stems from their reluctance to confront the emptiness Saturn exposes, the longing Venus illuminates, the growth Jupiter demands. Until they face their inner truth, they'll continue seeking external sustenance. Therefore, establish protective boundaries. Step away. Creating distance isn't a reflection of indifference. It demonstrates understanding that certain individuals don't require more of your energy. They need to encounter their authentic selves. Today, allowing this self-discovery represents the most profound expression of love possible. Distance isn't rejection. It's therapeutic. In this moment, the six-planet alignment reveals an undeniable truth. Separation doesn't always signify loss. Sometimes it creates the necessary space for healing. The universe is untangling long-standing attachments, not as punishment, but to grant each soul room to breathe freely. Consider the nature of cycles. When you consistently intervene to repair, comfort, or support others, your perceived help might actually be interrupting their soul's chosen learning journey. This alignment makes such intervention unsustainable. You'll recognize it through exhaustion, restlessness, and the sudden realization that declares, continuing this pattern will lead to my own undoing. True love isn't boundless. It's bounded by self-respect. This alignment is systematically eliminating every vestige of self-neglect you've harbored. When you create distance, you're not denying others their healing journey. Instead, you're establishing the precise conditions necessary for genuine healing to commence. Consider someone depending on your energy like a crutch. While you continue supporting them, they never develop their own strength. Yet when you step aside, the universe compels them to find their own foundation. Though this process may seem harsh, it's deeply sacred. Without your support, they uncover their innate power. Without your energy, they encounter their authentic selves. As they confront their shadows, you finally ascend, unburdened by responsibilities that were never yours to carry. Distance becomes a dual remedy. It heals you by safeguarding your essence and heals them by reconnecting them with their own power. Sometimes the most profound act of love isn't maintaining connection. It's mindfully releasing with understanding. This isn't about emotional coldness or harshness. It's about faith. Faith that others can evolve without your constant intervention. Faith that your journey shouldn't be hindered by connections that deplete more than they nurture. Faith that this alignment isn't severing love. It's refining its flow. Here lies the profound truth. Your ascension isn't solely personal. Every soul connected to you elevates through the ripple effect. Your healing becomes a catalyst. Your boundaries become a reflection. Your liberation becomes evidence that freedom is attainable. When one soul transforms, every soul it touches receives permission to transform as well. That's why today's alignment feels particularly potent. It isn't destroying connections. It's reconstructing them. It's not ending relationships. It's purifying them. And if this purification requires distance, then distance becomes the medicine that no one sought, but everyone required. If you are still with me, I appreciate your attention. If this resonated with you and you'd like to explore more, please consider subscribing. Your support means everything. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Until we meet again, stay well and subscribe for more enlightening content.